At the start, there was nothing but a blank canvas, a mound of dirt floating in the vastness of space. Next came a sprinkle of grass, a drop of water, and a touch of fiery goodness. However, you might be surprised to know that the first seed planted was a gray one, void of the tint you would find in the pastures of Elmore or the gleam of the fen seas touching the sandy beaches in Vorpal. A sinister swirl of darkness surrounded the seed, and it grew into more of a blot, its color akin to the emptiness for which this planet floats in. As it expanded, out came a witch who slithered into existence. Each touch of one of her tentacles and each movement gave birth to the murky Deadlands. When she reached its borders and stared down at the water to witness her own reflection for the first time, it was the only time she cried. Her tears were thick like tar, and they corrupted the water as they fell. A red seed would come next, somewhere in the west. They say a great wind swept across the land, and as this seed shook in the ground, a small spark ignited a flame, seemingly from nowhere, and the seed began to grow. The largest seed of all this was, for within it emerged the god of war and battle. Sharp claws and even sharper teeth, the wolf god tore its own way out of its vessel, covered in blood and glory. I don't recall my seed bleeding, so it might have been the beast's blood it adorned, but with a simple shake of its fur, the blood showered the ground beneath it. The mighty wolf roared as the blood solidified into a strange black rock for which the land of Obsidian got its name. They say the blood that remained became a part of the wolf as its white coat took on a reddish hue. The origins of the south are quite dark, and the west is rather savage. Luckily, the east is a tad more cheery. The continent we were born on is surrounded by the aforementioned fen seas, and a blue seed was planted in the dirt within the water. The water itself fueled the growth of this vessel. Each moment the seed would pulsate and twist. Every time it would fluctuate, it brought with it a new creature to fill the waters, and though some were monstrous, going on to eat each other to survive, none acted as such in this moment. Instead, they waited around the seed, an audience for their creator. Nature and flowers are more my thing, but the seed for which the mermaid grew took on the shape of a flower itself. At its peak, the flower blossomed, and within its center stood the goddess of the seas. She spent mere moments with her creations before the flower brought her to the surface. The tail just wouldn't do, so with a snap of her fingers, mist covered her body and gave her a human form. She made her way to the center of the continent, a journey that took her days, but something drew her there. Something drew us all there. When she arrived, she saw the witch in a human form of her own, and the wolf towered above them. She also saw me, sitting patiently on a rock. The reason I don't recall what my own seed was like is because I don't know if I had one to begin with. I just remember being here, existing. When the mermaid reached the rest of us, she saw a tiny creature on the ground, the center of our attention. Somehow we all knew the name of the planet without discussing it. We knew it was Fenrir, and this thing in front of us, this thing that I made with my own hands, would be the first Fenin.